This is the iPhone XS and the XR. So initially I was going to make this video about the iPhone X, XS and XR, but since the XS and XR are much similar to each other than the standard iPhone X, and knowing some people might still find it a little bit difficult to choose between these two, so I decided to leave the iPhone X out of this video and focus on the XS and XR. But in case you still want to know how the iPhone X holds up today, I made a dedicated video on that already in the card up on your screen right now. So let's start off with the differences. I won't go all into the differences between these two devices because there are a ton of them, but I will try to cover the most important ones as to save you guys precious time and attention. So yeah, I believe the major reason people find it hard to choose between the iPhone XS and XR is the price. Both devices are around $250 to $300 price range in most regions. I say that because I believe that isn't the case everywhere, especially in my country. But if you're getting these from Amazon, you should be looking at nothing less than $300. These have almost the same build, the only noticeable difference being the camera layout and the size. But when we look at the build quality itself, that's when we start to see a few differences. For example, the sides on the iPhone XS are made from stainless steel, and while the iPhone XR are made from aluminum. The iPhone XS is also IP68 water and dust resistant, while the XR is IP67. This basically means the XS can go 2 meters in water for 30 minutes, while the XR can go only 1 meter in water for 30 minutes. Again, you can't really notice these by just looking at the devices, but then just throwing it out there for anyone who is actually concerned. Another difference between these two devices, one of the most people actually notice, is the screen resolution. The XS is much more, will I say, clear and sharper than the XR, and yeah, the XR is already known for its low resolution at something below 720, not slightly above, I believe it's slightly above 720 but not up to 1080p. And I mentioned in my iPhone XR video saying this isn't something you should be worried about, but I believe what really matters is the screen type. The XS has a Super Retina OLED display with Dolby Atmos vision, while the XR has a Liquid Retina IPS LCD display. The difference again isn't noticeable by the human eye, but some screen tests show that the OLED on the XS tends to flicker a little bit more, which may actually lead to some eye strain over a long period of use. Lastly, in this section we have the cameras, and although these both come with the 12 megapixel camera at the back and the 7 megapixel selfie camera at the front, the XS has an extra camera, the telephoto camera at 12 megapixels. But still with that, I want to believe the photos taken on the XR are a little bit better than the XS, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Alright, the iPhone XS and XR come with a whole lot of similarities. From having the same A12 Bionic chipset and slightly different RAM, the same camera features, same Gorilla Glass build, and so much more. But there is one unique feature some people might prefer over the other, and that is the iconic 3D touch. So to be completely honest with you guys, to me this isn't a unique feature per se, and I believe Apple knew this, that's why they replaced it with haptic touch instead. They basically do the same thing, but most people prefer to have the control over the pressure they apply to the screen. That's in the case of 3D touch. So I really promised myself to make this video as quick as possible. So which one should you actually get? I doubt any of you saw this coming, but I'll personally go for the iPhone XR. By now, if you have been following the channel, you know how most of my is it worth it questions actually end up being answered with my personal opinion instead over some facts on paper. So what's my reason actually? So I believe the iPhone XR does more when it comes to performance for some reason, even if they both have the same exact chipset, and also the cameras are much better than the iPhone XS. Also, the iPhone XS looks like the standard iPhone X, and with how popular the X is now, making it feel like the most bought iPhone in the whole of Nigeria, I'll go for the iPhone XR or maybe even the iPhone 11. And speaking of the iPhone 11, you should probably check out this video after watching this one if you have like a more bigger budget and would prefer something bigger and better. So yeah, see you in that video. Peace.